Well, hi, my name is Lindsay Hampson. I'm the founder of This Rock. This video is all about sustainability reports. What are they? If somebody asks you for your businesses, what do you need to prepare? And a little kind of tips and tricks about putting together or reading a sustainability report. So let's hop in for the next couple of minutes and discover sustainability reports. All right, but first things first, what is a sustainability report? Well, quick way to know what it is a non-financial company report all about how the company impacts the environment and society and kind of the rules and regs or governance around that. Why are sustainability reports significant? Well, to cut to the chase, maybe your biggest customers are asking you for yours. And the reason is that you're in their supply chain. So if your company is sustainable, it helps make their company sustainable too. So that is usually the significance for business to business interactions, but also for B2C. So if you're, going to buy a new t-shirt, maybe you want to know the sustainability policy of a company that you're purchasing from. So you might go look at their sustainability report in that way. What are the essential elements of sustainability reports? Well, I already teased these out earlier, but let's get into it. One is environmental impacts. So, your company should tell everyone in your sustainability report if you're tracking energy, water, waste, greenhouse gas emissions, non greenhouse gas emissions, encroachment, anything to do with the environment. Please track it and talk about it and share it in there. So, it could be your baseline year and numbers associated. It could be future targets and how you're getting there or initiatives to get there. The second piece would be your social contribution. So, are you paying fair wages? Do you look at modern slavery? What about harassment? What about ethics? Do you treat your people well? What about your community? And then finally, governance practices. So, for example, do you have a whistleblower policy? How are you making sure that everything that's sustainable at your company is true? So those are typically the parts of a sustainability report. There's obviously different sections that I'll talk about next. Let's get into seeing a sustainability report out there in the wild. So here is Meta. I'm on Meta's webpage, and they created a 2023 sustainability report. Now, just like financial reporting, you usually create the report the year after the year is done. So this is their 2023 report. And here's the topic areas in this 60-page document. Usually there's a leadership letter, a little bit about their company, their sustainability vision for Meta, how they operate. So this is how do they plan on getting to net zero? What are they doing in their supply chain to make sure they're working with people that care about people and planet? Biodiversity risks. They talk about their product circularity and how they collaborate with their employees and their community. If you are a client or a customer of Meta, you might be interested in some of this information. They also do how they operate. So, how many CO2es or tons of carbon emissions are they putting out every year? Scope 1, 2, and 3. I won't get into it, but you can definitely read about it here. They also talk about what they create. So, what are they doing behind the scenes as they're creating these VR sets? What are they doing for carbon emissions to try and make their products more environmentally friendly? Again, in the sustainability report, you can read all about it. Also, how they collaborate with partnerships. This is key. In the supply chain for Meta, they want to make sure everyone's getting clean and green too, right? So they talk a little bit about their employees, but they're also talking about their supply chain. And then they have some futures, looking ahead. And finally, data. Now, I'm a big nerd, so this is one of my favorite parts. I look at their data. I usually even start here. So here's their GHG emissions, greenhouse gas emissions. This report is 60 pages, which is obviously very big and intense. Sometimes I see 5 or 8-page PDFs for companies that are smaller. This is typically what I suggest for my clients. So a sustainability report needs to have data. It can't be greenwashy. It has to be real. It talks about your actions and initiatives and has some raw proof at the bottom of the report. So now that you know what is in a sustainability report, I want to teach you how to analyze a sustainability report in the next couple of minutes. Number one, metrics matter. Look at the metrics that matter to you. So if you're an environmentalist and you want to look at this company, go into the E section of their ESG sustainability report. have a look to see that they're tracking their greenhouse gas emissions, their non-greenhouse gas emissions, their impact across scope 1, 2, and 3. Remember, scope 1 is the emissions they produce at their company, 2 is purchased, and 3 is in their supply chain, up and downstream. So look at the metrics that matter to you. Make sure that they're actually showing data and not just writing some nice, beautiful words that say they care and they're sustainable with no data to back it up. The second thing to look at when you look at a report is assessing the goals and achievements. So it's one thing to say, yes, now we're tracking greenhouse gas emissions, but two is, do you have a goal to reduce it? And how are you going to get there? I like to take a look to see that they're creating some initiatives or actions toward their goals in the future. So, for example, if they want to reduce their waste, great. Let's get the baseline of waste in, let's say, metric tons. And then 3 years from now, let's say they want to reduce it by 10%. Well, I hope in the sustainability report, they've described ways that they want to do that. So, for example, maybe they've given a menu to all of their staff about ways to reduce their consumption of or creation of waste. So maybe, we're not going to use that supplier anymore, or we're going to take down some of the packaging for our product, or we're looking in our garbage bins to see what is in there and what can we reduce. Maybe we're reducing the frequency of waste pickup at our sites. There's 100 ideas out there. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Now you know what a sustainability report is, what should be in it. And now maybe when your company is asked for it, you'll know what kind of information will go into it. Please don't try ChatGPT to write you your sustainability report. Please take a minute, go get your baselines, assess your company's current state across ESG, environmental, social governance, come up with some targets, make sure you're proud of the initiatives you're rolling out, and put this in a report. At the end, make sure you put your raw data. And that will be a really helpful and trustworthy, transparent sustainability report for your business. All right, wishing you the best of luck and have a great week. See you later.